19. Yes, I said it. 19 of 30-day challenge of going live every single day from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for this girl, that is dedication. That is consistency. Tonight, we've got a great show for you guys. We have back Heather Whitehouse. She will be popping on here in a minute. And she will be taking the floor. She came on last time and talked about a beautiful female archetype, Sophia. And tonight we're going to kind of transition. She's going to talk about
And
Hecate, Hecate, whatever verbiage you like to use. And it's going to be great. So we're just going to wait a minute or so for everybody to come on. Right now, Tina, it's taking you through purposeful
Sophia.
transitions.
And tonight we're going to kind of
So
transition.
we got
She's
to
going
let
to talk
that fail
about
a couple times so then we
Hecate,
can
Hecate, whatever verbiage you like to use. And it's going to be great. So we're just going to wait a minute or so
ding,
for
ding,
everybody to
ding.
come on. It's taking you through purposeful transitions.
You got to get it to tackle it.
So we got to let that fail a couple times so then we can.
Welcome in, beautiful souls. We're just waiting on Heather and Tina to join us for an amazing conversation about female archetype Hecate. I'm very excited about it. Comment down below where you guys are tuning in from. I'd love to know. I've been kind of in a space today. How did everybody else wake up? I had to get myself grounded a few times outside today.
I've been
Because I
kind of in
just
a
woke
space
up in
today.
this
How did
feeling of
everybody else
like
wake up? I had to get myself grounded a few
ending.
times
You know what
outside
I
today.
mean? I don't know if I'm
Because I just woke
my
up in this
apex.
feeling of like
Um,
ending. You know what I mean? I don't
Heather
know how to
says does
explain.
not
Like
know
in
how to get
between. Like it was
on.
heavy.
If you're able, is anybody
Um,
able to? All right, T, you're about to be
Heather
live. Are
saying
you
she does
able to
not know how to.
message Heather and just say for her to check our live to come down below? Hi.
Hi.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Welcome
Welcome
in.
in.
Welcome
Welcome
in.
in.
You saw Heather's text.
Yes.
Yes.
All
All
she would
she would
have to,
have to.
Heather, I
Heather,
don't
I
know
don't
if
know
you're
if you're
watching
watching
this
this
live,
live.
but if you're able to just check the live and then you
You
can
can
send
send
a request
I
in.
said,
Oh, there she is. I
I
don't know
don't know
how
how
to.
to.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
let me
see.
see.
I don't know how to turn her off.
Oh, I'm sending you an invite right now, Heather.
Get it?
Heh,
I thought
heh,
it was.
heh, heh,
I
I
heh.
thought
thought
it
it
was
was
Funny.
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 I just
I
sent
just
Heather
sent
an
Heather an
invite, so
invite, so
hopefully once
hopefully
she
when
gets
she
set,
gets set,
guys, we'll be able to
we'll
get
get
started. But
started.
in the
But in the
meantime, how
meantime,
has
how
your
has
week
your
been,
weekend
Ben?
been?
Ugh.
Tina,
Tina,
how is
how is
your
your
coaching
coaching
coming?
coming?
Share
Share
it
it
with
with
our
our
audience.
audience.
Yeah, it's coming. There's a lot involved. The deadline to get everything submitted is Friday, next Friday. So I've about 9 or 10 more clients to get through. Um, so my days have been pretty heavy. Didn't expect a lot of these clients to come in with such heavy issues. Um, I think that's what's draining my energy really is like just some of it's been really heavy. Some's been fun. Some of them have been like, oh, they're having fun with it. But I'm hoping to be done by Friday night.
And how are you grounding
Grounding
yourself
yourself
after
after
these
these
sessions?
sessions.
So I'm usually trying to get outside, do some kind of, I can't walk far with um, my back the way it is, but I take the
Nature
dog.
path.
Yeah, we just do our thing. So it's nice that I have Pilates on certain days too, and that's another way. So that's been grounding, but I feel like the energy's been sucked out of me because people are feeling something and they don't know what it is, right? And I tiptoe around explaining what it is because not everybody has the same values and beliefs. So it's been a challenge.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
a
and
lot
a
of
lot
it's
of it's
been
been
going
going
within. So I
within. So
think
I
a
think a
lot of
lot of
people,
people
the
have
shift is
shifted
so
so
like
like
something has shifted in me and I can't unsee what I've been experiencing. So how do I go back? I
I
can't.
can't.
So it's kind of like now we've got to figure out how to navigate moving forward. So it's kind of like we're in that in between. No answer from live video guest. I just sent her. I did not get a response back. I'll see if maybe I can try again. Nope, the invite's already sent to her, so it will not let me do it again, unfortunately. Let me see. I don't know on your guys' end what it looks like, see, when I invite you guys or what have you, but it once I send the invite, it doesn't let me do it again.
So she knew how to send the request to come in?
No, she hasn't sent me the request. I've only sent
Okay.
it to her.
So she needs to look at, once she gets into your page and hits live, on the bottom left-hand corner, there's gonna be, I think Brian explained it, like a person or a video or something. She needs to click on that, that sends the request to you. Once you let her in, she can hit, use camera and, phone, microphone.
Okay. Hopefully you got that. Heather, comment down below if you did get that. Hit the little person portrait icon that's at the bottom of the live. If you see that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're talking about grounding. We're waiting for our special guest to come in. Electronic, sometimes this stuff takes time. We're going to see a whole new. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Where did you send it? Where did it send to her when I sent her the request?
No, Heather, you have to go into the live. When you see your, on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, there's like a little picture next to a comment. Yeah, next to the comment section. You hit that. That sends the request to Nicole.
Yeah, because my request that I sent to you, I guess it stalled out or something, so now it's only waiting for you to bring it back this way, I guess. Welcome in, beautiful. Oh, I think you might have done it. Hey. Okay, it says it's adding, so make sure you're watching. It says adding, so you might have to click there. You're here.
There she is.
Thank God for Harry.
Oh my God.
Can you? I guess I didn't pray to the right people.
Hey,
Okay,
I think you did.
you have my voice. Was there two choices? You have my voice, guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
Press your face.
Ask him how to open that.
That was somewhere else. Remember we had. Yes, Harry. Say hi, Harry. Harry's in the house.
Well, hello, Harry, with your radio voice.
The one that's going to talk about Hecate. All right, where else? All right, I'm afraid to get out of here for fear I'll lose you.
We will always be right beside you.
Oh, I'm trying to see.
Open camera. Ask him how to open the camera.
They can hear you.
Yeah, you should be able. There should be a camera button. Like it looks like the shape of a camera at the bottom. It's hard for me to tell fully from my side.
That's a
Camera.
You need your glasses on.
What is
He's
that?
hitting thumbs up.
I wasn't hitting. Okay.
Heart. That's a heart. What's that?
Did you hit accept video and?
I only hit accept voice because that's the first thing I could get to. Oh, here. How about this? Do you want to keep going to live?
No, she's still here. She's just trying to get her video. I can see her icon. All right, well, while Heather is still making her way in with her Harry, welcome in everybody. I'm excited. Got that radio voice, you know what I'm saying? I do see that she is in the house, but I don't know anything further. But we will get to Hecate shortly. Just know that this week, tomorrow night, we're going to be coming back and talking about a huge shift that is happening in our life. I'm excited about this. Energy played around with us last year between July and August, where Uranus dipped in, still is a little bit in Gemini. But Uranus has been in Taurus for the past 7, 8 years. And Uranus moves around every 84 years. So this is an interesting time because we're going to see communication change tremendously. even down to where like education and stuff, even schooling's probably gonna be done more virtually in different ways. Like our ways of communication are gonna definitely change. Tomorrow night, whoever comes in, know where what house. I would like to know. I'm curious what house Gemini is in, because that is where Uranus is going to be coming on through for the next 8 years for you. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow, of course. Oh wait. All right. I sent the request back to you, Heather.
God, it's not just me.
There she is. Hey, radio voice.
She figured it out. Join camera. Yay.
Teamwork.
I've actually just broken a sweat.
Oh, is it? Yeah, just from trying to get turned on, or from turning this on?
No, she's turned on. Don't worry.
Oh God, we're live. We're live. Tina requested. Okay, he's a good wine.
Wine and cheese.
I think we just switched the whole dynamic of the conversation.
No, we just need to get you grounded and stop blushing and being so silly
I
like
know.
a little girl.
All right, so sorry that it took me so long to get on here.
It's all right. It's usually me.
I really just don't understand sometimes what's wrong with my brain, but
Heather, Uranus is shifting into Gemini this week. You got a lot of things.
it's Gemini. Oh God, we don't want Harry to know about Geminis. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being here and supporting me. So, Tina, I heard you talking about Pilates. Could you share that again with me? That's wait. Okay.
No, I actually don't remember what I said. I think we were talking about how I ground myself after. I was saying how emotional some of these sessions have been for the coaching, and I'm just drained. I'm exhausted, and
Yeah.
Nicole had asked me, and I said, other than getting outside, get some fresh air, take a quick walk. I'm fortunate that there's days where I have Pilates as well, where I can go to Heather and get grounded there.
Yes. Well, listen, I think I mentioned you can't do clients back to back, girl. You get tired.
Well, you do when you have a deadline.
But make sure you're grounding your energy at least in between somehow. You know how many times I hugged a tree today?
Yeah, what was up with that? What was going on? Are you okay?
I don't know. I think collective death this morning.
That's a loaded question. Or is she okay? That was a loaded question.
Well, I mean, she shared today that she was having some.
Oh, she was out in the wood. Yeah. She
All right,
likes
so hugging trees.
hugging trees and eating mushrooms, I think I heard her say.
That would have been nice, but no, that's not psychedelics, not psychedelics.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, we morel mushroom. We look for morel mushrooms. It's a grounding thing that we do, but I just felt this heavy kind of collective death. I don't know. It's been a weird energy. So when you offered to come on and talk about Hecate, I was definitely looking forward to it.
Hecate. Is that how you say that? Hecate?
Everybody, Hecate, just like Uranus, everybody has it. Uranus, everybody's got their own ways of saying things.
All right, beautiful. All right, well, shall we dig into our story for tonight? Okay, so again, we're just in our own little sacred container. So I thank you all for being here. And we always talk about the life that we see and the life that we don't see. So you guys did express that you were moving in warp speed energy today. If I could share what I did today, I did pretty much nothing because I was very tired. But I did do a lot of study today on Sedna, Chiron, and Hygiena, which will be my next topics in the future.
Hygiena?
Hygeia. Hygeia. Hygeia.
Yeah.
That's another whole group of amazing archetypes that we can study. But as you know, tonight we wanted to talk about Hecate. And such a good learning lesson for everyone that's on here learning. So thank you all for who are here tonight. And of course, Harry saved the day. Can we give him a
Harry the boo. You're booing Harry out?
He's going outside. He watched my windows. He needs to he's afraid to get called in. We just witnessed three eagles, two male and one female.
Wow.
So, so we talked about Sophia. How do you guys feel about our beautiful Sophia?
I think that resonated well with a lot of people. Heather,
Yeah.
after that specific session, it came up a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's when Nicole and I were thinking we probably should do a female archetype either once a month or try to figure out how to do one at a time, because the way you let Sophia flow last time, people were actually learning about Sophia.
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting that you're looking for male archetypes, because quite honestly, these are female archetypes, but they do speak to the male species too. So if I was looking up on an astrology chart and I felt that somebody needed to lean into their Sophia, how you're moving into your next realm of life, I still would bring Sophia into the chart for the male.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyway, so a little review of Sophia. She's, trying to teach you about your wisdom that you already hold within. She's a very powerful presence. She kind of brings you into your next stage of your life. And I too have had a lot of conversation with people about Sophia at all different ages, because I really feel like the older age is when Sophia plays out in such an important role, but she really plays out at all ages, right? Mm-hmm. Slowing things down, finding that quiet, getting rid of what no longer serves you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think more generations connected to her this year because of the shift that took place.
Our snake energy, you mean?
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's why more generations are associating themselves with Sophia this year than you normally would see.
Yeah. Aligning your life better, right?
Yep.
Getting rid of what doesn't serve you, moving into the horse year. But it sounds like you guys are moving at warp speed. So I'm very proud of you that you're sticking to your 30-day podcast. And I'm getting a little bit of a feeling that the exhaustion is coming from the push of your 30-day. Possibly, because you're unfolding a lot on your own. When you're talking about something, you also learn a lot about yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Tina's pushing hard for her coaching, and you're pushing hard for your 30-day. And, a lot can come up with that. So, I think today a lot can play into, learning lessons from this experience, in a beautiful way, but also, learning where you want to take this after your 30 days is over. Like, how do you integrate all of that? And that is where Hecate, or Hecate, however you say it, however you spell it, that's kind of how she comes into play. My friend Martina, she's here tonight. You could just comment that you're here, but Hecate for me is the quiet, being in your quiet, but finding even your pause within your quiet. So how do you when you're in your quiet, how do you get deeper into your quiet? I don't know if that makes sense.
So pausing, like
a very big pause.
Yeah, so how do you pause in that moment to really take it all in?
Yeah, so let's say that, for me today, I was tired, so I kind of hung out on my couch for a little bit. I let myself do what I needed to do for rejuvenating myself. But when you're in that quiet space, how can you get even more quiet? Where can you find your, for me, it's where you find your purpose, where you find your, like your direction moving forward. It's very hard to get to. It's kind of like a deep meditation almost.
I was just gonna say, is it a meditation?
Yes. Yes, a very quiet meditation. If you need to have, music playing, if you need to have, I've been practicing it for a long time. I too was not a good meditator until I said, well, I think meditation could save me. During some of the harder times in my life, I found meditation saved me, whether it's through moving meditation and yoga or listening to a meditation app or something. But she's like in that liminal space. So, like even when you are breathing, and that's what you would do when you go into meditation, when you're breathing, it's almost the space between your inhale and your exhale. So let's just kind of do it together. So let's just take a nice big inhale. And then there's the pause. We take a pause here and then we exhale, right? And then there's a pause at the bottom of the exhale before we come back up to the inhale. And during those pauses, you can kind of get in to that quiet, or I even sometimes try to get into a little storytelling. So let's inhale together, inhale. And then we're at the top, right? And why don't we think about being in a beautiful forest? And then let's exhale. And then at the bottom of the exhale, you can be in a beautiful green forest. And then you inhale, and at the top, you can be in a beautiful green forest with a beautiful path in front of you. And you can keep telling this beautiful story every time you're in that liminal space. And that, for me, turns into this beautiful meditation. You can go back, so you can breathe in and say, oh, I'm in this, beautiful green forest. Exhale, it has beautiful trees. Something like Nicole was experiencing today. That was a moving meditation maybe for you today, Nicole. You're in the woods, you're looking for the mushrooms, you're enjoying nature, you know that you're there to ground your feet. But you're still going there with a purpose. So for Hecate, there's really not a purpose for you, right? There's no purpose. You're just going into it to see what kind of can expand your mind. Or am I making sense to you guys?
Yeah, I was thinking, when you were talking, what I was reflecting is I do like the before second box breathing is what I thought as you were talking about that. But I liked that you added the visual and the progression of the visual. That was new, so I loved that. And then another thing that I correlated with what you were talking about was that I've done for a long time was going in, you're in your dark room, then you have your set door, you open the door, you go into your garden. And then in the garden, what are the details, what does it look like? And then I have my, what I call my white guardian that's in my garden, and I sit next to, and we just sit. And then we see what unfolds. So that's kind of what I was like coming
Yeah, that's beautiful. That kind of reminds me of being in your Akasha field in a little bit, sitting in a beautiful sacred space like that. But I'm trying to get you to understand that's beautiful. That's a beautiful practice. Please continue. But maybe smaller bites of the quiet in the liminal space instead of big, large, like, oh, let me just. Well, I guess if you're meditating, you would still try to find within that journey, maybe you would do exactly like what you said, but then maybe sit in the garden smelling the flower for a long time. Okay. And smelling the flower for a long time will just bring you into more of a quiet space. Instead of always delegating what goes on next, you try to stay just quiet. So smell your flower, and then you can hang out in that flower. Is it making sense, Tina, or is it way?
No, it's making sense. I just don't think
very hard to do.
I'm not built this way, so I'm taking it in as like from a new perspective, where Nicole can connect to it because it's what she's been doing for a while, as the two of you are.
Yeah, we've been practicing, and it does take for a long time. It takes a long time to get that practice under the belt. Martina, as I was saying earlier, and then I kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent, but Martina, when she talked about Hecate, made some sense. Hecate is kind of like when you're going through a transition in your life. This is different than Sophia. So you're going through a transition in your life, and you're opening the door and then closing a door. And you know that expression like, oh, there's always a new door to open, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
That liminal space is between the closing of the door and the opening of the next door. So what does go in that? What goes on in that little bit of space? So say, Tina, you left your job, your long career, your long-term career, because you were burnt out. You have shared, maybe I don't know the exact feelings that you had, you could share here. What was your plan? What was your next plan from that when that door closed for you?
I needed to just take some time.
There you go.
Just time. Like the pause has been almost a year. It needed to happen for me to recover mentally, emotionally, and I couldn't be grounded in my workspace in the headspace I was in.
So you're kind of, this is where Sophia and Hecate kind of blur lines, but so now that you closed that door, a new door presented itself, right? Did you go, when you were leaving your job, did you think that you were going to become a career coach?
Not, I had thought about it, but as I was still working, I was thinking about the transition and what the next step would look like. And coaching is where I feel the most comfortable. So I'd have to say at some point it was in my mind, in my thought process for how I wanted to redefine myself.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So Hecate is the one who stands with you in the in-between.
Yes.
And your in-between is, that in between is Hecate. I'm trying to get you to also understand that Hecate can also be between your breaths. I also think that Hecate can be, Nicole, you might like this, in between your bones, like in between your hip socket and your hip joint. Like I feel like she lives all in there too. So say you have a lot of body pain, I think you can bring in that Hecate energy into that liminal space of your body. I know it sounds crazy, but when you're meditating, these are things that you can take care of. Like, how do I soften myself? How do I heal myself? How do I get my heart space to understand my journey? How do I move from, I think I sent you that quote today, that poem today, Tina. How do you move on from the depths of your despair? It's finding that liminal space of peace.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to work so hard at it.
But you also, like, you really have to understand it before you could do the work, right? Because you could go out and try to hug a tree, get yourself grounded, pick up a rock, whatever it is. But I think before I go out and try to do anything that would link me to Hecate, I would really sit back and say, okay, what does it look like?
Yeah.
So I can really try to bring it in versus just winging it.
Well, I mean, everything we talk about tonight, we talk about with love and light, right? So it's just a conversation, but I think we just shared that you're kind of, when you left your job, you closed that door with the unknown.
Uh-huh.
And Hecate is the unknown, and she's like the in-between before you move into the next known. And then, your Sophia plays in because now you've had new lessons that you've learned.
So she's my waiting room.
Yeah, wow, yeah, she is your little waiting room.
I'm coming
Could you
from
be like
Faith
the
in the darkness? Could you be
I consider
like
like the faith that you have in that
unknown time in that dark place?
I mean, yes, I don't understand that entirely. I mean, faith is in, I guess, faith and hope and.
Like not knowing what next is going to happen, but just having that faith and that knowing that
Trusting the
Yeah.
process.
yes,
Definitely trusting in the process for sure. I mean, it's the unknown. So how do we trust in that process of the unknown? We have that all the time. Every time you wake up in the morning, you go to bed at night, it's the unknown, right? But she kind of wants you to, like Hecate for me, wants you to unfold it very slowly. Like, don't rush it. Like, let it just, don't. She doesn't want you to rush through things. She wants you to really sit with that pause. I think a lot of it, for both of you and for those listeners who are hanging out with us, it's kind of like intuition, I think, in a little bit of a way. It does, and trust in yourself, and like you said, that faith. And it can be quite dark for some people. Right now, for me, when I go into my Hecate energy, it's not dark for me anymore, but I've lived through a lot of that darkness. And you have to wait to see if that light's coming through, right? Right? You did that, Tina, with your transition. You had to trust your intuition that it would all unfold in your,
Yeah, and the framework of my coaching program is what I found in the silence. So that would be my pause. That would be where I sat in that waiting space and really had to trust the process, know that I was heading down the right direction, that this is what I needed to do. And then I was able to step outside and start doing the work.
Yeah, and you needed rest, right?
Yeah.
You needed rest to get to that point. You needed trust, faith, as Nicole said.
Yep.
And Sophia is about the wisdom that we already have to bring that wisdom forward to make things happen. But Hecate is the pause. So within the pause, you're getting the wisdom.
But in the pause, you don't want to actually be doing anything. You want to be sitting, thinking, planning, weighing out your pros and cons, right? Or
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that inevitably does happen in a way because it's hard to really turn your brain off from all of that, It's hard to not have that, but I ask whomever I am praying with or whomever I've called in to help me, my guides and whoever, I'm asked to quiet my mind, just quiet my mind. Because, it all does unfold. Our journey does unfold on its own. So where does that all come from?
Yeah.
Allowing.
Allowing, yeah.
not forcing, allowing the pause, because I definitely can relate and noticing, especially more lately, it's more in my awareness that when I start getting frazzled or overwhelmed or anything like that, I'm now reminding myself, we need to step back, we need to pause, we need to get grounded. And then there's that child part of me, well, I don't want to do that, I want to do this, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
we need to kind of step back, we need to regroup, we need to ground and be quiet. And I've noticed that in doing that,
Yeah.
it's almost like I'm having space for guidance, support, the next step to kind
Yeah.
of present itself.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be in that deep quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? What should I do now? What should I do now? What should I do now? Oh my God, I got to do something. Like, what should I do now? Oh my God, what should I do? Like, trying to get on the air is trying to be calm, cool, and collective. So what is it you're ready to do differently moving forward? Like, how do we, like when we're in our regular state, we can't always live in these spaces of pause and research and all. So, so Sophia wants you to set boundaries. I mean, you can't go from being in human resources and then decide that you want to go be, I don't know, like a baker. Maybe you'd love to bake or something, but it's not in your wheelhouse, right? So where can you go that aligns with your, and for me, everything aligns because my whole life has been about female embodiment. My whole life, paintings, career, always been about how to better the body and the mind, the body, the soul. Even through painting, I was an artist, always a figurative artist. So always working within that female energy, you know. And Nicole, you work with making people look beautiful with um, your with hair and makeup, right?
Yep.
So you too are always making people be beautiful, and I know Tina, it's an ease and grace for you to be a life coach because you worked in HR for human resources. You're always so look at we've all moved in to our next space of whatever we're doing. It's like a natural progression, but it was probably found within the pause. Like we didn't force it. Did you force it?
No.
It all kind of came natural, right?
It came together quickly but naturally.
Yeah, because it was aligned, right? Everything was aligned with the ease and the depth, and that's back to Sophia, the grace, the ease of moving into the next phase of our lives because of the wisdom that we hold.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Hecate is that really quiet power that we have within us, and she speaks to us very silently. She's just beautiful. When you look up Hecate, when you look her up, she's more of the, like you had said, Nicole, the darker side. Maybe it's for some, it is going to bring up your darkness, maybe some of your struggles that you've gone through. And she's always with with black wolves and black dogs, and she's wearing black. She's beautiful, but she is maybe a little bit of shadow work for you too.
Yep.
I feel like it's definitely, when I think of her and have worked with her, it's definitely when it was time to work through and navigate those darker aspects. It was almost like the hand was being held. You're not alone through this threshold you're on. It was.
It's a threshold, yeah.
It was very beautiful energy when I first started learning or we'll say not learning, remembering, because everybody is just at different stages of remembering.
Remembering, yeah. So I hope this is coming across clear because, like Tina said, it's not in her wheelhouse, but it's in my wheelhouse. So and it's in Nicole's wheelhouse. So how do we make it so other people can understand? I want to encourage everybody to, I guess speaking to last year of the snake year, moving into getting rid of the energy. Now we're moving into this fire horse year and moving fast, and then we have the new moon and Aries, all these things, all what you're reading is about hold on, everything's going too fast, but we need to pull back as light workers or life coaches. We need to pull back and look at the picture very clearly for ourselves first, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to give the guidance to our clients.
Right.
So, that's beautiful.
Yeah, because burnout is real with all of this energy. We're now switching into Taurus season, which will definitely bring some more grounding, stability. See what house it kind of shows up for you. So there is going to be a sense of that. But this is a building year. Be excited about what you're building. Don't be in a rush. Because there's going to be so much coming through. I had to remind myself that now is the time with everything that's kind of coming through and getting clear that journaling. Really important. Journaling really fast. There's a lot coming in the mental and with the
journal. I journaled all day.
Yes, I did a lot of it this morning.
So Tina, we had talked about with your client, you and I had talked about that, for people when they go through their call with you, to write down stories. So I wrote down when I was working with the Hecate and Sophia, I wrote down today, how did I learn to breathe in my depths of destruction? And then how did I know to wait in my all-knowing? So when you think about some of our destruction, whatever that is, grief or Yeah, grief is a big, huge one, right? How do you get to the next pause of getting over all of your grief or your sadness? So for me, journaling is beautiful. I moved from chaos to healing by reading, studying, helping others, intuitively mapping out my life. How about you guys? How would you move from your depths of destruction to
Allowing what parts of me are there. Like there might be parts of me that are a little darker, but accepting them
as where they're at
at
was I think important. But yeah, it's like creating a lot of it. I feel like when we have any kind of chaos or anything like that going on, is create however works for you. Whether that's through music, dance, painting, drawing, writing, channel it somehow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. What about you, Tina? What do you think? What would you say to yourself? How would you, in the depths of your destruction, what did you do when you were getting ready to change your job?
Well, for me, it's much more than just my job. Depths of destruction was last 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
Wasn't just around my job. It was around a lot of grief. It was about identity shifting. Then the job came into play. But I don't really know that I can answer that because I'm probably still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like when you bring up the archetypes, I've got to go into some kind of like chat GPT to understand who they are and what they mean.
Yeah, because I think it's new information for
It
you,
is.
right?
It's brand new information for me, but it's good information because when I realized how many people were clicking with Sophia, I realized, all right, so this is resonating with people. So I need to get more comfortable with it myself.
Yeah, and hopefully Hecate will have that same meaning to you once you let it resonate. I mean, I don't think I want everyone to understand all of it now because I've been studying them for a while, but it's kind of like, I mean, like Hecate, for instance, say you were being pushed into doing something that didn't feel comfortable for you, and you say, oh, I'm going to just stop and think about that for a little bit. There's your pause. There's your liminal space.
So,
the conversation, honey?
I think the hard part for me is I don't really. Sometimes I'm a fake it till you make it type of person, right? So
Okay.
I would be able to go into any kind of setting, listen to what's taking place, and then be able to put together the pieces and talk and speak to it naturally. But I just think that these female archetypes are coming out more and more because we're in a state where I think we're losing our identities.
Or Nicole and I are stuffing it down your throat.
Yeah, I don't like being like in the spotlight. So the two of you,
We're shipping patriarchal times.
Move on, right? Move on.
could you just go back?
It's good.
Could you just go back to the original plan and not pull a Nicole?
Oh, I love you. That wasn't my point. My point was the viewers would have the same questions, like, really, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see the comments, Nicole. Is anybody asking anything?
Viewing. A lot of them are viewing. Destiny's in. There's a few viewers.
Eric might have some good insights. Should we put him on the spot?
No, because then Brian would need to get on.
Oh, I gotcha. Tip for tap.
Yeah.
All right, so
Brian is fine just staying out of it. So Tina wants him on.
all right, let's see here. So let's talk about
Tina wants him on when he starts to be fresh.
All right, so what else did I write about myself today? So sitting, here's some Hecate insight for you. So sitting in your depths of your destruction, or maybe you feel like you're drowning, and maybe, kind of sitting with all of that, feeling like you're sinking in the ocean, or you have to sit with that, and sitting with that in your pause would help you maybe see some of your own light, but it also like proves that you didn't really turn away from yourself because you're kind of sitting in that pause, right?
76 is listening and trying to take it all in.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
And the good thing is that by having these conversations too, we're putting it into their awareness. So the stuff that might seem very foreign could end up resonating later when new events happen in their lives, and they might be like, "Oh, this sounds familiar, like Sophia, or like Hecate."
Well, what if we didn't even put a name to all of the what if we didn't put a name? Like, what if we didn't put an archetype name to all that was going on? Like, what if all what we were talking about tonight didn't have to be aligned to an archetype? What if you are shedding away things that no longer serve you, and you don't have to identify it to Sophia? What if you are taking these pauses naturally and not really have to name it to Hecate? What if it was just happening anyway?
Well, I think people like being able to put a name to it or a label to it.
Yeah.
Because what we heard a lot about was I'm in my Sophia moment right now, or my Sophia era, right? Like they were feeling it, and I think either way the conversation could be don't put a name to it, but I feel like it might have a little more power if there is a name, because even for me, just wanting to understand my chart more, I'm trying to figure out. I think I have a lot of Hecate in my chart, Heather.
Yeah, so we're talking about astrology chart and the kind of work that I do, bringing in the Hecates and the Sophia, but bringing in all of the goodness that your chart reads. I'm sure you have plenty of Hecates, all those pauses. And, I see Tina a couple times a week, and we're going to talk about that Hecate. You know what Hecate is? Between the moment of I give you instructions and the moment that you digest the instructions and then apply it. That would be a moment of liminal space. Right? Like between you hearing something and then translating it.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
that is liminal space, like the unknown space, or the what is she talking about space?
Well, I think I don't know. Nicole, you talk a little bit. Take over for me. I can't. I'm losing it here.
No, I think it's going great, really, because I think with the times that we're going into as divine feminines and with the matriarchal times, I think there's something empowering about being specific about certain female archetypes, because I think what happens is it helps people who are going through the experience kind of have a little bit of identity, a little bit of empowerment, a little bit of like, okay, this is important aspect. This is something that I'm meant to embody, and I think when we're empowering each other, however that looks, I'm always all for it.
And
Stephanie just said, let me read what she said, because I know you guys can't see the comments. That was like when you talked about Sophia. I knew I was in a new point in my life with who I was keeping in my life. I was like, makes sense. So there you go. Stephanie kind of just validated. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. And yeah.
I was just gonna say, and I don't know if you said this already because you threw me for a loop with all questions, but Hecate could also be looked at as like the illumination of the path that's aligned with what fits your highest good.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, that's easier to understand.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking it from the
notice which candle draws your attention, which one is flickering, which one feels energetically stronger, would be like your Hecate coming forward.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You like that phrase, huh?
I do. I love that. All right, so Hecate, she's your in-between space. of your
I
mind.
like Mariska Hargitay.
Whoever that is.
So did you have a grounding exercise or anything or transmission with Hecate you'd like to share?
I think that we could probably wrap it up with some offerings of ways to get there.
Beautiful.
I think the breath work was important that we did earlier, you know, breathing in and then telling a little nice story.
I loved that. I'm going to continue to use that. I liked how you were building on it because I could see you. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I was in yoga a couple weeks ago. I don't know what the problem was, but I was struggling with something or whatever. I can't put my finger on it right now, but you know, for me, the part of yoga I love the most is the breath work. So I took myself every time, you know, when you're breathing, you have to breathe in yoga. You have to breathe all the time. I know that, but yoga, especially, you have to breathe because that's the part that I love. I did that storytelling for an hour, and only took little baby steps moving forward. So I took a breath in, I went to the forest, but then my exhale, I stayed in the forest. And then I kept adding little bits and pieces. But I think if we could close with maybe having everybody, first offer themselves compassion, right? And maybe move into some of their own rituals, like candles, crystals. I love crystals. I love flowers. So some nice, almost like an altar. Regulating your nervous system. I think for me, that's taking some nice naps, taking some nice salt baths. You walked in nature, so regulating your nervous system.
I took a nap today too.
Yeah. If there's a chance that you might lean into any types of alternate lifestyles, you might want to chill and cool out a little bit, whatever that means to you. So for me, it was living more sober.
Oh yeah, groovy grass, the only thing that I have in my life now.
Yeah.
That's it. I got rid of everything else just because for me, it just wasn't, it wasn't helping me. None of this stuff was good for me. So I had to really make that shift. Absolutely.
Sorry,
Sorry,
you had a couple comments.
so I just wanted to make sure we see them. So, all right, Tina, perfect. Keys are one of Hecate's primary symbols representing access to the unseen.
Oh, I love
Yes,
that.
she is the holder of the keys. She is.
Wow. So's Chiron.
Yep. Use this ritual when you want intuitive insight, psychic clarity, or deeper spiritual understanding. How to do it. Hold a key. Oh my God, I totally have done this. I don't know if it's this exact one, but hold a key, real or symbolic. Visualize a locked door in your mind. Say, Hecate, keeper of keys, open the door to the wisdom meant for me. Imagine the door opening and observe what's behind it. Symbols, colors, images, or messages. Why it works. It activates the subconscious and invites intuitive downloads. I absolutely love that you shared it because
in our wedding
we actually had keys because
I've been told throughout my life different things about me with keys and the
I have keyholes all over this house painting, so I love that you shared that.
Well,
Thank you.
I was just trying to connect with those who I think are trying to connect to the conversation.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that even got my third eye itchy. Stephanie said, I like the breathing exercise.
Yeah.
This is great for someone like me who has a hard time slowing my brain to try to ground myself.
That's hard. It's very hard to do. Very hard to do. It's a big practice. Keep doing it. That's the thing. Keep doing it. I love the key analogy. And again, it gives me the whole feeling of walking into your Akashic field too, which is that sacred space of the all-knowing. Yeah, I love keys. Yes.
I have that key and going to use it, Stephanie says.
Yeah, open the doors.
Love it.
Love it. Absolutely.
All right. What else? How else should we wrap it up? Let me see what I wrote here. Okay, so we're doing the seeking of Hecate to the knowing. We're moving from the overgiving for Sophia to the choosing, right? From questioning your path to beginning to trust the one unfolding beneath your feet. I love that. And this is what I see so often with the women that I work with. They come in thinking they need answers, but what we actually do together is uncover the wisdom that has always been there all along. And illuminate the patterns. We gently bring awareness to what's being carried, sometimes across lifetimes, sometimes across generations. And just shifting all of that, not through force, but through understanding, through compassion, which we talked about, through alignment, and through simply creating a space where you can hear yourself clearly, quiet. The work is always being done.
I love that. Beautiful. And always keep in mind, guys, you're never behind. You're in a state of remembering.
Yes.
So give yourself, like the heck, to give yourself the quiet to remember. If we're constantly doing and we are constantly trying to force things, then we're not allowing the silence to unfold the hidden keys that are waiting just on the other side.
Just like quiet. Quiet's so beautiful.
It really is. And quieting your mind, you end up gaining more balance, more control, more understanding of what's going to unfold. And this night went by super quick. Is there anything anybody would like to close with before I do my little closing?
One step, one breath, one becoming is mine.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That's beautiful.
One step, one breath, one becoming.
You have stars on your ceiling? What am I seeing?
Yes, I have the universe on my ceiling. Come on now, girl. Yeah.
Nice.
I got constellations. I got stars. I got movie stars in the background.
All right, beautiful souls. If you woke up today, as I always say every single night, your soul still has purpose on this planet. So you might as well live it authentically true to you. Love and light, beautiful souls. We'll be back tomorrow for day 20 of 30. Yes, and I'm excited about it. I think that I will continue this on after the 30 days, but it might be 5 days a week. But I think that it's important to have a space that you can come that's non-judgmental, might have a little inspiration, might have some nuggets, but all in all is here to share wisdom with you and to help empower you on your awakening journey. So
Love and light, guys. All right, love you, ladies.
Yes, and we're talking about Uranus's transition into
Gemini tomorrow night. So come on back.
Gemini.
Yes.
Gemini, depending on your house. Okay, love you, ladies.
Bye,
We'll
guys.
be talking about that tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Then thank you guys so much for joining. I see YouTube. We've got quite a few viewers that came in tonight, which I'm really glad to see. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Feel free to leave some comments. We would love to know what you guys thought about Hecate and how she is showing up for you. We will be back here tomorrow night talking about how Uranus is shifting into Gemini, and bring your house, because I'd love to share with you how this could be affecting you personally. As always, beautiful souls, we'll be back